Hi guys, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. 305 subscribers, guys, on my new YouTube channel. Thanks ever so much. It's a brand new channel, guys, so please don't be put off by the low number of subscribers. It's only been going literally for about 2 months now. I've been in the space for a long time. I've been working with one of the most, if not the most, recognised influencers in the crypto space for the last 2-3 years. So please do like and subscribe and switch on the bell for notifications. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like the content, but hopefully that won't happen. Okay, guys, so there's a link in the description below to my free Telegram group. Do come along and join us. We have got VIP Telegram group and things separately. We've got there's NFTs and things that you can purchase if you're interested in that. But do come along for now into the public group, and I'm going to keep this video quite short today if I can. So let's jump straight into the content. It's very strange what's happening with Bitcoin. Obviously, it's been quite choppy and things around. Had like a broadening wedge here, which we did have some bullish divergence actually when the price came back down to the wedge there. I did take a trade actually in the trading group, which failed unfortunately. So the trade looked something like this, where the position was taken at the point of support there, but unfortunately it did break down. So that was an unsuccessful trade in the group there. But we are taking another bite at this trade because price is actually breaking down. So I mean, the priority does look like it's to the downside in actual fact. But as you can see, what I will say yesterday, once we broke this on a 4-hour time frame, once we broke this candle body low here at 23,640, once this 4-hour candle had broken, we did exit our positions, or well, certainly I exited my positions in my altcoins and things, and I am actually my portfolio is in the USDT at the moment. So just looking to take some scalp trades and things now. It's a bit of a strange trade to take this. In actual fact, it is very high risk, higher risk than usual. In fact, because obviously, as you can see, if we look at that 4 hour, sorry, you can see that there's a support line there, and we have broken down below it. But one thing, it's a little bit strange. Why is the price not collapsed? And we've sort of got continuation to the downside, having broken these 4-hour supports. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that, which we'll come to, guys. So just basically, even we're sort of bouncing around the 61.8, which is the retracement from the low here to the high on the fib there. You can see actually the 61.8 is here, and we are sort of teetering and flirting with it at the moment. Why hasn't the price collapsed down? You certainly would have expected to see that once the 4-hour candle was broken, and we haven't seen that. It's hovering around, and there's some reasons for that, which we'll come to in a short while. But for now, guys, let's just have a quick look at the daily. As you can see here, it does actually look like the structure's breaking down, and that the actual move, the 35% move that we've been talking about, is likely to be from the downside from here. So if that does happen, you can see there that the measured move takes us all the way back down to around about the 16,000 mark. I actually would be quite surprised if we actually see that. I mean, I could see us having like a cascade waterfall effect where prices come down, everyone starts panic selling, then we get a long wick down, and then the break and the bounce to the upside. But if we're going by the charts, then the average move bear in mind it's an average move from September. The average moves over this sort of last 4 Septembers is 35% correction in September, which I sort of went into and delved into yesterday in yesterday's video. But you can see, we certainly look like we're losing support and things here. You can see that this rising wedge on the RSI it is starting to break down now. Again, we're bouncing off the 50 level at the moment, but I suspect that we'll come back up and then we'll roll over and we'll come back down below the 50 line. Once the RSI breaks below the 50 line, that's when when the bigger move will come to the downside. But for now, guys, I think we're actually going to be in for a small bounce. Hence the reason this is the suggested trade certainly for a trade that I'm taking. It's not financial advice, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research as always. But this is the trade that I'm looking at taking because I think there's going to be a short-term bounce. The shorts are actually increasing dramatically. So let's have a look, see what the shorts are today. Actually coming back down again. So they're actually they shot up by about 25-30% yesterday, and they've come back down by 10% today. So even so, guys, I think that we're gonna end up with a bounce actually back up. Another attempt higher and then roll over, which would be confluence with with the RSI getting a bounce up to retest the levels and then rolling over here. So I do think the priority is to the downside, guys. I think we've seen this. I think we're going to look back. This is going to be the high. Certainly don't think that we're now, having seen yesterday's price action. I'd be very surprised to see us break back above there. At that level there, the sort of the candle body high, if you like, there is 24,455. So 24,500. If we get back above 24,500, then there is obviously then the likelihood is then shift to continuation bullish up to that CME gap. But looking at things now, guys, if we look at this other chart which we've been watching, this parabolic curve has been broken. The blue dotted line is support here, and that's been broken as well. So you can see clearly here that the priority has shifted from the from upside to downside. And as I said before, if you get a parabolic curve that breaks to the downside, unfortunately, that usually leads to like a parabolic move to the downside. Once the curve has been broken, you can see the curve's clearly broken, the support's clearly broken. I mean, it's very dangerous. You could argue that we haven't actually set up, this low here, haven't broken this low here yet. So you could argue that this is still a higher low. And as I say, we'll come to some reasons why I think this is happening in some other charts in just a second. But so I mean, arguably this is still a higher low. So, but I mean, if you're going to ignore signs like this on a chart, then you're a very brave man to be doing that. I mean, the priority for me is actually to the downside now. I know that we've been looking at this. I was saying even in yesterday's video that I thought we would get, a move up to this, to the CME gap before we saw downside. Now looking at it after yesterday's price action, you're clearly breaking down and things like that. I think that that the priority is down. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but then it's only just a temporary. It's only going to be a temporary thing. I think that we're going to get, we're certainly going to get, if we look at this, so 35% move takes us down to 16.5. The wick low there is 17.5. This was the low, if you like, was 17.5. And just on the face of things, it wouldn't surprise me at all, guys, if we do see a big wick down, just to below this 17.5. So the measured move is 16.5. Where are we? So measured move is sort of around about sort of 16 to 16.5. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw a big wick down here, and then a big bounce and like a big sort of recovery very quickly from here. So price comes down. I think it's going to take a while to come down. It's not going to come straight down. It's going to take a while, and then once we get down here, there's going to be like a big sell-off wick, which comes all the way down to the measured move, and then we get obviously then a recovery. So people will look back depending on where the candle bodies close. Of course, if we do get candle bodies closing above these candle bodies, I wouldn't be surprised even if we get candle bodies closed below here, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we get candle body closed even below this one, and then we still get that V-shaped recovery, because this will be the classic bear trap territory where the market waits for everybody to go short. Everybody's panic selling and going crazy. And then just when everybody's loaded up short and everybody's sort of panic selling and everything else, you then get the turnaround and the continuation of the actual move to continue higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all, guys. So just watch out for that. So why are we pausing here? Why is this happening? Well, you can see on here, I've marked a couple of significant lines here. We're actually on the weekly support here. So this is a weekly support. So it's going to be significant. You are going to see, it's acting as support now. If we go to the weekly time frame, let's just take away the drawings for a moment. Go on a weekly time frame. You can see actually, the ledge of support here. Okay, you can see that ledge of support, and that's where the that's where that mark that I've made there, that's where that sort of line comes in. So weekly support 23,000, say 23,300 for round numbers sake, and we're sort of bouncing above there now, as you can see. On a 4-hour time frame, it's very clear to see. We tried to dip below, we bounced straight back above that weekly support, and now we've come back up against the underside of this support now. So are we going to break back above, or are we going to sort of reject from there and roll over? Well, just to add to the fact that we've got that really strong, healthy weekly support there, If we look at the USDT, this is obviously the Tether dominance. For those of you that don't know, Tether is the largest stable coin by market cap. So this is basically where it's basically this chart has an inverse effect to what happens with Bitcoin in the market. And as you can see, guys, if you look on if we go down to an hourly time frame, you can see here that we're up against this significant resistance here again. And as you can see, the last couple of times that it's touched there, we've got some clear rejections from there. So what are we going to get another rejection from here and a move back down to the downside from here? That would be rather nice. That would equate to a pump in the market and in Bitcoin and things. If we do even come back down, that's sort of 2.5–3% move there. But if we do come back down, bear in mind, guys, that we haven't reached this measured move yet. So sorry, this purple line here. The purple line here is the measured move of this breakdown. So we've got a big distribution pattern at the top there. The measured move of the breakdown is the open end of the triangle, and that's what this purple line represents here. And as you can see, although we've been sort of trudging our way down, we haven't actually reached the measured move yet. So this move is not complete yet, and there's every chance that fingers crossed, guys. As I say, I'm sat in USDT in my portfolio at the moment, but fingers crossed. If this does complete the measured move, it's like a sort of 10 to 15% move to that's 13%, a 10 to 15% move to the downside. And if we pop that onto this chart here, it's going to take us right the way back up to the to new highs, in fact. So I mean that would be lovely if we see that. It is a possibility. It's not impossible. As I say, looking at the chart now, the priority does look descending. But that 10% move from where we are, if that does happen, if the tether dominance rejects from there and starts to come back down, and we break through these supports and come all the way back down, there is the chance that that this move does happen. But clearly, if this does start to happen and we start to break back above, like the 4-hour support there at 23,638. If we do start to break back above there and we come back down and hold that level of support again, then I will re-enter the my portfolio. I'll just redistribute it. So I'll use a portfolio management tool, and basically I just hit a button and it just redeploys my my capital back into the altcoins that I had when when I exited, basically. So I exited here. If we break back above the 4-hour, come back down and find support, I will re-enter the altcoin positions that I exited in the same sort of allocation from my portfolio into those coins. Another thing, guys, if we look at this, as I say, we've got a little bit what's going to happen here. Are we going to break up or are we going to roll over? We are looking like we're rejecting, time and time again. Actually, on there, we've got a nice, you can see here that we actually, we've got high, lower high, and lower high again. So this does look like it's rejecting from this resistance. So let's hope that that happens, guys. That would be certainly kickstart the market again. But as I said time and time again, guys, we've only got a couple of weeks left before I think we get this September correction coming. So does it start now? Do we get it from now, or are we going to get another pump and then a corrective move in sort of from the second week of September onwards? In no man's land a little bit about the decision on that at the moment. We've just got to wait till the market and see what the market tells us. If we break down below the weekly support, 23,300, then that's going to be significant. We've still got the 200 weekly SMA actually below that, so there's a couple of supporting measures that might save us. We're certainly looking for a weekly close this week above the 23,050 mark, because that will be a close yet again for another week above the 200 weekly SMA. So we're certainly looking for that for this weekend. But if we have a look at Bitcoin dominance, again, you can see quite clearly why we've got a pause in price action. We've broken down and we're kind of in between this level of what should be support. Actually, we've broken the upper support, we've come back down, and we're actually sort of eroding through the lower support again. Subject to what happens with Bitcoin, we need to keep a close eye on this. At the moment, you've got lows and higher lows, so this would suggest that we've got maybe some strength. If we break the neckline here, then we'll that this will actually break out. So what we're hoping for is that it rolls over, breaks down through support, and continues to the downside, of course. But same again, guys. We've just got to wait until and see what the market is doing at the moment. I'm erring on the side of caution on the face of things. As I say, this is looking like it's breaking down. Look at the parabolic curve has broken down, but as I say, we haven't broken the lows yet. So strictly speaking, you could argue that this is still an uptrend. Let's get rid of these little lines here. Yeah, so you got lows, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and you've still got higher lows here. So you can argue that this is still an uptrend. As I say, just draw this out for your lows. Got a high, got a high low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high high, higher low, high high, and higher lows. So what's the next move? Is it going to be to the upside and create a higher high, or is it going to come down? And we get the correction. Well, what is a possibility, and I've seen this happen, a few times, some more than a few, in fact, over the last few years, is that we get a bounce up to the bottom of the support, and we grind our way up against the bottom of the support, and everybody gets their hopes up and everything. Yes, it's going to continue bullish, and then eventually the pressure of the resistance, we suddenly fail, and then you get this big move to the downside. But we could see that where we get the pump up and we start to ride along the underside of that resistance, and then we get the rolling over. But as I say, guys, we're just speculating at the moment, just on the facts of things. This looks like it's breaking down. The measured move for that would take us all the way back down to sort of 16 and 16 and a half. On the face of things, you need to sort of trade what you see on the charts. But as I say, there are sort of some conflicting signs. So not giving up hope completely just yet, guys. Hopefully that helps. Just protect yourself. Be very careful, guys. If you've not exited the positions already, then perhaps put some stop losses at maybe minus 5% of where we are now. Or, probably actually safer to say, Mike, let's just measure this out. So, I mean, if we I mean, a good way to do it is if you go into the altcoin charts and you look at an hourly time frame and you see where this hour was and what the low was, on the hourly time frame on altcoins, okay, and then perhaps leave yourself a small amount of wiggle room there, and put your stop loss below this wick low just in case this does roll over and come down to the downside. That would be a sensible move if you haven't already exited your positions and things. But I mean, each to their own, guys. The long and short of it is, if you're in altcoins and you've taken, and you've sat through the majority of this move already, at the end of the day, there's only going to be a few months. I mean, at the most 6 months, I'd say, before we're on the start of the run up to the 2023. We'll be into 2023, and we'll be into the run up to the next halving. Which tends to be a reasonably bullish time in the lead up to the halving, and then obviously once the halving happens, prices explode after that. So if you think about that, in terms of if you're a long time, I'm a day trader, so I need to trade and I need to take short-term scalps and what have you, and looking to make profits daily. But if you're a long-term investor, then just hold and just wait and just look forward to the sunny days which will be coming. No doubt, if not towards the end of next year, then certainly, well, throughout the sort of back end of next year, so the sort of Q3 and Q4 of next year, then I think we'll get a corrective move before the halving, but then obviously the halving will happen May 2024, and then we'll be off to the races just after that. So thanks ever so much for listening, guys, for liking and subscribing. Do appreciate it, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care now. All the best.